How are we doing now? My microphone was set to the wrong one. Yeah, okay. My microphone was just not the correct one. Oh my goodness. So my entire little intro, my entire hello to everyone is just lost to the void. So I guess I'll start from the top. Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? Today we are having another little casual chill working stream. And I'm going to be working on this, my little hi. I'm going to be working on this, my homepage for my chapter 7 tomes over on WorldAnvil. My face is kind of covering up the little tomes part, so you got the 7 ton. That's all you get. But yeah, so this here, this page, it already exists. You can go visit it if you so seek to. There's just no content in it yet. We're hoping to remedy that in, a short span of time, hopefully. And yeah, so the first thing that we're kind of doing is figuring out what I want to put on member pages. So that is kind of what we're working on right now. And so I was over here working on this little side window. And so I'm thinking I want to make a page, like a separate little page for every single member of the chapter. And so I'm kind of starting with myself as a little template. And yeah, so I'm thinking we're gonna have some kind of little description over here. Talking about like when did they join? Are they a current member? Are they a former member? Like that kind of stuff. And of course, since this is a WorldAnvil thing, we have a little section here with the world. Get a little block that'll take you directly to their world in question. And then we have a brief little description to kind of hook people in. A little elevator pitch for everybody to just kind of devise for their own place. Ah, do not bunk, please. I think I'm sitting straight enough. Maybe, I don't know. I don't sit like a person.
Refresh yourselves.
Sippy time. Oh, thank you. And yeah, so aside from having a little
refresh yourselves.
Sippy time again. Can never just have one. Can never just have one sippy.
Refresh yourselves.
Oh my gosh, we're doing this again. So yes, aside from this section with the world and description, I'm also thinking favorite articles. Like if everyone picks their own favorite articles from their worlds, we can feature those too. Dushan Mandic, thank you for following. Hi, how are you? Remember, to maximize the goblin energy, wait until they put the cup down before you click the button. No, stop. Don't be giving people advice on this. It's very rude.
Refresh
also,
yourselves.
So you see me opening stuff and you're just like, now's the time. Oh, cool story, have a sip. Hey, Line. Hey, what's up? Tell Calivara that Albatross says hello. Oh my gosh, I just logged onto her last night for the first time in like 12 years. You tell Albatross that I say hello, because I also miss that guy. I still have, oh gosh, what is that book again? I need to remember. I remember there's a little book I had. I found a note in a very old notebook that was from some desert campaign we started planning and didn't finish. I think in Warlords of Draenor. Yeah, that was our little that was like our little story campaign thing that we were going to do in like Oldham, I think, is what that was. It was probably around that time though, during Warlords. Oh my gosh. I miss doing those things. This is so fun. I haven't RP'd in like 10,000 years. Every time I think I'm gonna start, or like I'm gonna like go for it and try to get back into the community, something just comes up that makes me stop playing the game for like 12 years. And so any person that I happen to talk to in like a walk up or anything else, I just like I talk to them, have a great time role playing, and then I just never talk to them again. And so I'm like, why do I keep doing this? Why does this keep happening? Oh, Lark was still wearing the desert transmog I put on last time I logged on to him. It's ancient. Oh my gosh. Oh, that really is ancient. Oh my god, that was so many years ago. I don't like thinking about the fact that it was so long ago. I get onto it for a month or two, Final Fantasy grabs me again. Oh, I completely feel you. I started playing Final Fantasy like last year, maybe the year before, don't remember, time's weird. And then I put like 1,000 hours into it way too quickly. Like, concerningly quickly. WoW roleplayers creep me out, says the WoW roleplayer. True. I creep myself out. Alright, hold on. What am I doing? H3. Close to a decade now. I think about 8 years actually. Barf. I don't want to think about time like that. But oh gosh, those days were so much simpler. We're doing some casual CSS real quick, because I noticed that this title down here is still in the default font, so we're just gonna get that out of the way real quick. Yeah, it's so crazy that all of these adventures happened like almost 10 years ago. Thanks to Neopets for all the HTML, CSS knowledge I do have all these years later. Yeah, I'm definitely putting that to good use. Ever since I started, like, messing around with this stuff in WorldAnvil, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad that I was a weird Neopets kid. Really glad that I was just some strange child that had free access to the internet and became like a coding god. I say coding god as if I actually know what I'm doing half the time. I kind of don't. I didn't get enough into it to just be able to summon knowledge from the ether. I have the internet to tell me these things. The Real Salties, hi, how are ya? How's it poppin'? What you working on? I am working on I'm working on a homepage for my chapter on WorldAnvil. And it's essentially like a club, more or less, like
Refresh
a little writing
yourselves.
circle, writing group. Thank you for the sippy. And so what I'm working on right now is building up pages and styling for this homepage to hopefully present it to
Refresh
my little
yourselves.
club members. Thank you for the sips again. And yeah, so we're doing a little bit of content here, a little bit of CSS here. Oh, more
Refresh
sippies.
yourselves.
Spiraled Chaos and CM Nugget, you're all in on this too.
Refresh yourselves.
The widget has to catch up. Oh my gosh, you guys. Yeah, so it begins. No. No, I can't handle this. It's been so long since I've fought against a sippy raid.
Refresh yourselves.
Stop. I love you guys, but stop. Get sippied. I almost dropped my sippy. That would have been no good. But yeah, so that's really the gist of what we are doing right now. Okay, we're done. I don't believe you. I do not trust that statement. But okay, I'll start working if you insist.
Refresh yourselves.
You instantly lied to me. Ha, you got me. I lied. Smiley face. Well, I had a feeling. But yeah, of course, because the page that I'm working on is on a brand new world in WorldAnvil, I'm now encountering something that I've encountered with my actual, like, personal world. And that's every time I start to use a new block, or like a new container, or a new anything, really, I have to look at it and be like, I need to update the styling on this. I need to change the CSS on this because I started from the default theme and I'm just like changing one thing at a time, essentially. And so yeah, we're just kind of, we're having that kind of vibe. And yeah, so we see on my little left screen what the page kind of, you know, like looks like normally with like the proper columns and like a, it's not full width. It's not a full width page because like full width would be like, you know, wider. It'd be, it's off the screen kind of in my stream right now, but like this would be the full width. And so this is like slightly smaller width, which is fine. That works a-okay. But then over on this screen, we see what the page looks like if it's like really small. This would basically be the mobile view, where you get like the one single column, and that's just how it goes. But yeah, so I'm going to just fish up any three articles from my world that I just like and would like to display. And we're just gonna toss them in there. But which there's the problem. Which pages? Which ones are my favorites? Cause okay, I would wager that my favorite articles are ones that I submitted to the World Building Awards. So we're gonna grab antecedents. And I don't know if I Oh, I guess they changed it like very recently that I can't edit this world unless I have it active. Or I don't know if that's a recent change, but it's something I've only recently noticed. Okay, okay. So let me... I think rather than just to articles, I'd like to display my map. So this, we'll open this full size. Oh no, okay. Let's... No, go back, please. Not that far back. Oh my goodness. We go up here, if we activate this world, we edit this article, because I want to grab the block for the map, and I don't remember how exactly to do it just from the link. Da-da-da. It's probably towards the bottom. Just make this bigger so I can actually see all the things. That's world building article, blah blah blah. Map. Okay, so it literally is just map, link code. Not the full URL, but I know what I mean. So yeah, now we have to go reactivate this world, because this is the one that we're actually working on. And now we can continue working on this article. Here we
Refresh yourselves.
Sabby-toothed tiger, not you too! Why do you all turn against me with the sippies? Well, to be fair, I asked for this. I can't actually complain. So we just toss this into the footer. I'm gonna say favorite content from my world. I don't know how this is all going to look together. Because if I put my map in here, all right, it's gonna be not a good size. Like, look at this. This this block does not work well with, you know, everything else. But I could. So I currently have this in like a 3-column setup. If I instead did something else, and I think this would end up having to be one of those things that's like really modular. Like, you know, people pick out what things they want to display, and then we figure out the best layout to make that shine. Because having like a very simple template isn't going to account for like, oh, this person wants to display articles, this person wants to display a map, this person wants to display artwork, you know, like that kind of stuff. So we're just gonna kind of have to figure that out. So we're just gonna do some BB code rows, container, call MD. What are we doing? Are you writing a book? I am not writing a book. What I do is I world build just to world build. And so my major project right now is working on a world called Malcora. And the idea is that someday I will use it to make some kind of publication, whether it is a, you know, a book, a novel, or if it's like gaming material, tabletop gaming material. You know, using it as a custom setting for D&D or any other kind of tabletop system is very open-ended at the moment. But for now, it's really just like I am a creative writer and I need a creative outlet, and this is my creative outlet. But right now, I'm doing something that is completely separate from my personal project, and it is for a chapter. And as I was saying earlier, I think I got sidetracked. This is for, or I should say, a chapter is basically a little club, a little writer circle. And we have several of them over on WorldAnvil. And mine is themed around fantasy. So creators of any kind who just love fantasy content, working with fantasy content, just all kinds of fantastical things. This is kind of, I'm trying to make it a home for these people. And so the idea here is that we get a bunch of people who are like distinctly active and want to work together, collaborate together, and like help each other, you know, become better writers, more consistent, get ideas, advice, anything like that. And so this homepage that I'm building, where's the map? Is it not loading? Oh no. Hello? Or can I only have it once on one page? Yeah, sorry, but essentially, yeah, I'm just trying to make this like constructive space for people who really love fantasy to come together, to work together, to interact with each other, talk to each other about what they're doing and what they want to do, get advice and feedback on things. And eventually, this homepage that I'm building for us is going to be like this big collaborative encyclopedic space where we fill it with content from our worlds, like content that we've already written on our own, content that we write together, just exploring the bounds of what fantasy is and what it can be, and just have fun doing that together and just exploring the genre together. And so that is our goal. I have a lot of like very lofty goals for this, but again, I've only recently become the leader of this chapter, so I'm just learning the ropes of how to lead one in general. Our chapter has run for several years before I took up the mantle of leader, and so we have a lot of people on the roster, but only a couple active voices. So I'm kind of in this phase of like reining people in, seeing who's still around, seeing who still cares, You know, because like we have several active voices and several voices who haven't been seen in a couple years. And so, because chapter space is limited, unfortunately I have to be the guy who's like, hey, I notice you haven't been around in a very long time. Do you still want to be? And the issue with people who haven't been around in a very long time is like, you know, they might not respond to you if you reach out to them, or, you know, they see some random person that maybe they've never talked to before because they haven't been around in a couple of years. They're like, ew, I don't want to answer your message. Um, but that second one's not terribly common because I mean, everyone who's in this community tends to be like really nice about stuff like that. Oh gosh, I take a sip and it was like fighting me the entire way down. It's really hard to just be alive sometimes. But yeah, one of those things I was mentioning about things in CSS just not being correct is these what are they called? Why don't I remember what these are called? Whatever, like these tooltip things. These are not formatted correctly, and so that needs to be remedied, ideally as soon as possible. But let's see if I can find. So I'm basically cannibalizing the CSS from my main world, and just, you know, turning it into what I want it to be for this new one. Oh, I also need to change. I need to change what block quotes look like for certain. So that's gonna be kind of. Oh, tooltips. Is that what I want? I think so. We're gonna find out. Or, you know, I think if I go over here. Oh, whoops. Wrong window. I want to be over here. Control Shift C. Let's see, let's grab, yeah, it is tooltips for content. And so if I grab, why is there nothing on this line, like, at all? What is the point of that? Why did I include that? Okay. Interesting. Well, anyway. Let's just see if I can change stuff here myself. Should be able to. So let's see, text styles, description hide, categories, TOC style. Yeah, I'm trying to get really good about labeling what's actually in my CSS. So I have like, you know, like the /* whatever for notes, and just making it really noticeable. Like, this is the section for book covers. Everything in here is about book covers. Back to world button, really easy, because I'm so good at losing track of the stuff that I actually put into my CSS. It's a little unfortunate, actually, how often I forget like what a certain line of code is supposed to do. So with my primary world, it's a jungle out there. But with this one, I'm trying to keep everything fresh and clean from the get-go. So like, God forbid something happens and I have to pass this off to like a new leader. Like, they know what they're working with and they know how to change everything like piece by piece. They don't have to guess, they don't have to figure things out. Yeah. And so we're just gonna put it on here. Tool tips. Dot tool tips content I think that's the only thing in there. Okay, so let's see. I can't actually see the thing that I'm trying to do here. Okay, so if I do tooltips or content H1, I do font family Fondamento, which is the one I'm using for titles here. I don't think that was the right one. Do I need to have this empty line of code in here or something for it to work? Or is it H2? Or maybe I just need to save it for it to actually show up because it's like technically a different page. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Because again, in terms of some of this content, I'm pretty clueless. I don't rightly know everything that's going on. Let's see. It goes away when I stop hovering it. Oh, but you know, also, this is in... I don't know if it makes a difference, but this world, this newer one, is in Bootstrap 5. I don't know if that would affect, like, styling in any way. Okay, if I just copy paste this line of tooltipster content. Oh, we scroll down. Ooh, stop it. Stop it! So many things are just popping up that I don't want to pop up. Okay. So that is the correct way to target that. Tooltipster content. Why is tooltipster content H1 not functioning with me? It might be because I put in... Okay, no, I thought I really did something there, but it did not actually fix anything. Oh well, we thought we had it. What if I do H2? Okay, okay. So I was right, but I was wrong about two different things at the same time, so it sidetracked me for a moment. Easy peasy. Cool. So our regular text is Prociono. So if we can just grab the correct colors for our text. I don't think this is the right color for regular text. I think it's the color for header text. Color this. I guess we'll see. Now see, why are you the wrong color? There are just so many variables. So many things to consider and so many things to think of. Wait, I didn't save this. So refreshing this page does nothing. Without that crucial step. Okay. So I want... Oh, why are you grabbing the whole thing? Just want to grab the text. Can I please? And like scrolling away from it makes it disappear. So I don't know. I don't know how to keep it up so I can like scroll through the elements and look for exactly what I need to target. Is it small content? I'm gonna get rid of this background because it's just not the right one. Although, hold on, I'll actually keep that. I'm just gonna go grab the correct one. If I have it, I don't actually know if I placed it anywhere. No, I think this is it. Background of this. So if we do that, indeed, it is now the exact same paper background, and that is really good. That's what we want. But now what flavor of text is this that it is evading my every attempt to change its properties? And I say every attempt as if I've tried more than one. It's probably some silly thing like tipster content small. And our easy test. If I make it red, does that work? No. Why do you hate me? Or maybe our issue here is rather that we need to important the text color change. Yeah, that was it. It was the correct thing to target. It just didn't want to change the color on me, so that's fine. Oh well. That's fine. So if we go back up to our text styles and we grab the regular... Okay, I made all the colors exactly the same. Interesting. That's certainly a choice. I'm not gonna be upset about that choice. Because I actually think it's completely fine. Let's see. We're gonna toss another title here. We're gonna call this the breadcrumb. Because that's what we're targeting. So if we go back up here, Seven King of LOL 87 has followed. Hello, how are you? Thank you for following. And hi, hello to you, since you've popped into chat. How are you doing? Welcome to my little space. We're just working on some stuff. Working on some CSS here and there. Hoping to get into some, like, content writing. But for now, we're just kind of tweaking design and styling on this page. Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad you're doing good. Right now, we are out here trying to change up these links. I need help with something really simple in CSS, but I can't find it. I'm sure you know how. I might know. I might know, or I might not know, and I could just try looking it up real quick to see if I can just finagle the search terms a little better. But I will certainly try to help if I'm able. Yeah, like I'm certainly no CSS expert, I'm just a hobbyist, but naturally you learn some things here and there as you go. So let's see. Okay, I still gotta explain this. Let's try you open a Google page and grab the corner, make it smaller. When things adjust, they don't pop out. I'm trying to think of what you mean by your request. Do you mean you want to make your page more responsive? Yeah, that's it, responsive. So that's actually a really, really good question. So, I don't know, I assume you mean something kind of like how on this page over here, like everything's kind of smushed into one column, but if I drag it out, it kind of, like it, jumps over and now it has two columns as it should? Is that kind of what you're referring to? So like this kind of difference here and how it displays when you drag the page to be larger or smaller? I mean, when you make it smaller, for example, your top left red pencil follows, doesn't pop out of the header. I'm not actually sure. I'm not actually sure what we're going for with this description. I'm very sorry if this is like a me not understanding thing. But your top left red pencil, so I assume you're talking about this little publish button here, or like the edit button there. Yeah, I have no control over that button, so any questions about that button? Yeah, it doesn't pop out of the header. And when you move the page, everything stays adjusted. Yeah, okay. So I do see how it does that, but at least that section is doing it automatically. Like I don't touch that section. I don't adjust it at all. I'm not sure how you would force something to do that or like adjust it yourself. So I just noticed that these are little funny text icons. I don't know if that's I'm gonna refresh this page and see if I did something weird. No. Yeah, so I am sorry. I don't really know how to help you with this particular question because I feel like I might not even fully grasp it myself. Yeah, I know. Sad frowny face from me too, because I really would like to help if I knew what we were going for. Yeah, because at least my understanding on, I assume if you're asking me about CSS stuff, you're also a WorldAnvil user. Everything on WorldAnvil kind of like is responsive by default, unless you're making like fancy things. Oster, 3 months and counting. Hey, thank you so much for the third subscription. I appreciate it very much. But yeah, everything is kind of like responsive by default. So I guess I would kind of play with whatever containers you're using, whatever columns you're trying to like, where you're trying to put things, and yeah, I don't know, maybe try to find someone with a little bit more brain power than myself, and maybe they can like really hash out what you're looking for. My understanding of what you're looking for is something that's just kind of built in by the system. And so I really don't know how to help you, even though I want to. Oh, and back to lurk and work I go. Well, thank you for the lurk and work. I hope you have a lovely, wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, you tried. Yeah, I tried my best to grasp what you were asking for, and even though I didn't help, I hope it maybe almost helped morally, on a moral level. um, but yeah, all the CSS stuff that I do is pretty simple in nature. I'm really just changing the way things look rather than how they function. All the functioning that you see is just kind of like BB code and me making different different containers and different column structures. But everything I'm doing is just really like simple stuff pulled from guides, so I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to be like some kind of CSS wizard that has every answer for everything. Though I wish I did. I wish I did. It would make my life so much easier. Let's see, user CSS dot world category link. Just gonna text transform, not transform, text decoration, not L. So text decoration is exactly what I'm looking for, but it's just not it's kind of not going. Delete that? No. Oh, world category breadcrumb link. It would help if I didn't forget an entire word. I spelled breadcrumb wrong. That would that would help. Okay, cool. It turns out when we spell things correctly, it works. Who would have known? Wait. So why is this first one different? Hello? Oh, breadcrumb world link. Okay, that's why, because it's a completely different thing. Understandable, understandable. Instead of making it a whole different thing, we're just gonna do comma world category. Wait, no, not world category. World breadcrumb link. I've once again spelled things wrong. Okay, there we go. Cool. I just did not want... I didn't want the underlines to be there. I don't like it when they are. Personal preference. I don't like when links have underlines on them by default. It makes me feel like they are deliberately like begging me to click on this link. I would rather click on the link because I'm curious about it rather than, you know, being required to do so. Let's see. I now want to target the hovered version. No, this is okay, cool. And once again, I share my hot tip for CSS. If you are trying to target something and you want a very quick way to know if you've succeeded, just change the color to red. Temporarily. So that way, when you go to check on the property that you've just changed, it is very clear. It is very clear, because this thing is indeed very red. But now my question is, what color do I actually want it to be? Because see, we go back to the home page. We have, oh, why is, okay, that's because this little link icon here appears on the bottom, and so it just kind of skirts that down the line. It's fine. We don't need to worry about that right now. There are worse things in the world. Okay. But if my links are going to be this kind of like purplish color, what do I want the regular, what do I want the actual colors to be? So I have to know. Dot user CSS A. I really think that if I just change the properties of links, I'm actually going to take care of all of this stuff, and I don't even have to specify breadcrumb links unless I want to change them in the future, but I don't think I will. I don't want to have too many different styles going on the same page, just all over the place, because that gets really distracting, and I don't want the CSS to be distracting. I want it to be just nice to look at. And so let's see. Text decoration none, please. Ba-da-ba-ba. If I do font weight bold, do I like what that looks like? The answer at the moment is kind of no, but it could be interesting. Ba-da-bum. I have to see, is this actually the, is this the font that I want to be? I don't think it is. Font family currently says Source Sans Pro. Sans Serif. And that is most definitely not the font that I'm using for my world. Ugh. That's fine. We'll just have to target it later. Now I assume 600 is just, it is just bold, which is fine. Oh, let's consult the Google really quick. Da-dum. What am I looking for? Font weight CSS. So I want to know if there's a font weight thing that I can do that makes it I guess I'd kind of want to know if I can do something in between normal and bold. So I would like it to be not quite so bold. But the weight that it has as a normal, at its normal weight, is like too light in my opinion. But going with the number scale, there's no change between like 100, 500, whatever. But as soon as I hit 600, it immediately goes straight to bold. So like I can't reduce it or anything like that. So I assume that really all that means is like I have a font here that only has like, you know, regular and bold versions. So I very much would have liked to use something a little bit less. Something that gives me a little more variation, I think, is really what I'm going for here. But it's fine. I can survive without. Or can I? Oh my gosh, now I'm having a conundrum. Now I'm like, oh well. Whatever, we'll figure it out. User CSS, a hover. We want the coilor? I don't know what I was just trying to type there. Color. Wait, don't I already have, like, literally right there, I already have a user CSS a field. So I don't know why. I just decided, okay, let's make a new one. Alright. So at least we have the hex code for this color. We're gonna try to find a new color. Something that just looks nice. Something lighter, less saturated? We'll see. Color. That. Paste it. Look at it. It's a little bit too pink. If I make it cooler and desaturate it a little bit more, does that tickle my fancy? No, not really. I need it to be darker and less saturated, maybe? Bam. I kind of like it, but I also kind of don't. I think I might literally just need something that's a little bit, only a little bit different. Like different enough that you can tell that there's a change when you hover it, but not enough to be like distinctly, ah yes. Here's a completely different color. I don't know, how do we feel about this? That one's pretty subtle. That one's like, it's subtle, but it's very clear. Like you hover over this and it's like it's changed. Like this is a link. Yeah, I'll take that. I think that's pretty good. And you know what? I think we're gonna take a little field trip. Oh no, not to font weight CSS Google search. No thanks. Font awesome. A little field trip here to font awesome. Gonna go to icons. Oh, just take me to the thing solid. There we go. I kind of want to see if they have little. They don't have owls. Life essentially ruined. I could use a crow. Like I'll take a crow. So really what we're doing here is I just want to go to design and I want to insert an icon. FASFA crow. So if I do that, and I've saved everything here that I need to. I have a little icon here. Bam, I have a little bird now. I love it. Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit of extra fun. Just kind of have everyone use a Have everyone pick a little icon for themselves of like, this is the icon that I think best represents me in like very short form as a creator. So for me, it's gonna be this crow because it is my favorite bird icon on the website. I absolutely would have used an owl if they had one. And I'm really surprised that they don't, considering just how much stuff they've been putting on here. I mean, they have a kiwi bird. I would have figured that they would have an owl or something at this point. But yeah, I don't know. They have a roast turkey. They have a scarecrow. Mm-hmm. Okay, well. See, they have cute things here like mandolin. Like I wouldn't think to put that into like a little random icon website. But it's there and it's super cute. Wait, why am I using the sharp icons? I don't want the sharp icons. Is it? It does not automatically use the sharp icons. Okay, it automatically uses just like the regular ones, which is cool. But then how do you differentiate between what is and isn't sharp, just in terms of like how you use them? I assume there would be a way to use the sharp icons instead. FA. Like now I'm curious because I don't actually know, because the only way I know how to use them in specifically in the context of WorldAnvil is, you know, you type in a little FAS FA dash whatever the code is for it. But I don't know how to differentiate between like the regular ones and the sharp ones and all that kind of stuff. I do FA sharp crow. Does that do it? No, that just tells you that it's wrong. FA sharp FA crow? Sorry, I'm like clicking through 6 billion buttons to... Okay, yeah, okay, so that's how. It literally is that simple. Just do FA sharp FA crow. Cool, but I don't want the sharp one, I want the regular one, so we're good. We're good with just FAS FA crow. Because I like the classic one more. I just think it's cute, I think it's sweet. And yeah. So that'll be it for that. Okay. Where's antecedents? We're just gonna grab this article block. That's the whole reason we had it open to begin with. Sections, footer. Da, da, da. Hello, scroll bar, scroll wheel, I mean. Now if I just throw this in here, is it gonna do what I want it to do? It is. So we have something like this going on. I wish that embedded maps like this kind of had like the option of being zoomed out even further. Because when they're really small like this, not being able to zoom out to see the big picture feels like really overwhelming, in my opinion. Like this, I cannot zoom out to see, like, you know, the top to bottom of this map. I have to be like zoomed in at least somewhat. And like, I wish I could zoom out more to see more of this map, so I didn't have to scroll through the entire thing just to get a good look at it. But it's fine. It's okay. And this is just reminding me that Kingdom of Arsavella does not have a little excerpt, though I would like it to. But adding more content to these blocks will throw off the groove of this design. That is the shame. Some part of me now is like, what if I just... Like, what if I just get rid of this? Or not get rid of it, but just move it to its own thing? And I just... Like, this is still not perfect, but it's like, you know, it's better, because like there's wider, and I can see more of it at the time. And so I don't have to sit there like, I wish I could see more of this. And then maybe I'll just... I just call SM4, grab this article block, slap her here, call SM4 once again, and if I container call SM4 a third time, and now we just have the 3 columns down there at the bottom with different articles that I like. I can work with this. This is like a good summary, or like if I find a third thing to put in there, which I think at this point I would just go back to my home page, grab my Bestiary February article that I love so much. Bam, bam, bam. Most of us have already seen these birds. We don't need to see them again. Although if you'd like to, you can just let me know and I'll drop a link for you. Don't you worry. We drop that in here. Article link. Refresh. Boom. Now we have 3 different articles that we can choose from. That works for me. Okay. Perfect. So yeah. This is essentially... This is what I'm thinking I'm going to do for every single member. Is we're going to showcase, like, their world. So we have their world block and a description of their world. Short and sweet, very simple. If they want to see more of this person's world, they can click on the world block. Easy peasy. And then underneath that, they will have the chance to showcase their personal favorite content from that world. So for me, it's going to be my map and these 3 articles that I really enjoy. And so that's going to be that. And so really, like, I think we'll include, like, a little bio for everybody. I think that would be a good thing to have. But I'm trying to think of what else people would want to see. You know what I mean? Like, what if you click on, like, a chapter member and you just, like, want to know more about them, like, what would you want to know? What would you want to see? Would you want them to list out some of their favorite hobbies? Maybe some of their inspirations? I think things like that might be really fun. I definitely think that it should link to their author page so that you can very quickly, like, link directly to them and not just their worlds. And so we will see if there's a good way for me to do that that doesn't, like, destroy my life. But first, I did notice another CSS thing that I kind of want to adjust. So if we go here, so I want to adjust user CSS. Ooh, that is a comma. We don't want to do that. Dot breadcrumb article current. Oh, I put 2 U's in there. We don't want that. breadcrumb article current. Cause I'm kind of thinking. We'll do that, except we'll change the color to the clicked on link. Okay, so the hover color that I've selected, I think looks great when I'm just hovering over the links briefly. But if I'm using it as the color that says, like, you are here, like this is the color of the breadcrumb of where you are currently. Although I could just change it to be bold, and I think that on its own is better than what it was before. Because if the rest of the line is bold, it feels really weird that the like current focus, the current like where you are, is not bold. Like I feel like that should be the most bold thing there. But so much of CSS is just making difficult decisions with colors. Because of course I will sit here and I will think, ooh, how do I want this to look? And I think, oh, I want it to look this way. And then I put it into action and I decide, ooh, wow, I was wrong. I do not want it to look like that. And so that is the rough one, my friends. Because if I make it too light, it'll look like that and you can't read it. What about this one? If I make it darker, if I make it darker, like it, you know, it's readable, obviously, but then the color just doesn't vibe. And I'm like, okay, well, if I just make it the default color, I think that's actually fine. But then I'm sitting here thinking, like, okay, I need to change the background image for the, you know, like the world, for the pages. Because there's like this little line that's, like you can see it behind this word here, Strix line. There is this line here. And like it's fixed on the page, so it's just kind of like smirching this letter. And it makes it more difficult to read. So aesthetically, I don't care that it's there. It just makes it more difficult to read, and I don't want to impact the legibility of this page. But also the position of that line changes depending on how wide the web page is. So it's not always going to be there. Like if I stretch this out a little, it's no longer there. But if I squish it in, now it is there. Ah. Such a hassle. So let's save this, make sure that it's like that. I'm going to put a break line between those two. And I'm gonna put a break line at the end here. Also, I need all of you to know that I turned off my AC to stream so that you guys didn't have to listen to it this whole time. And oh my god. It is warm. Let me tell you, it is warm in here. And I know I'm saying this like as someone who is actively wearing a sweater, but I feel so comfy in a sweater that I don't want to take it off, even though I know it would benefit me greatly. I just cause problems for myself every single day of my life. But that's okay. Because you know what we do with problems? We get through them. We work on those problems together. And we have a good time. And yeah, so we kind of deal with the problems that we make for ourselves. Yeah, so I think so. You've saved that. I want to make sure that there's nothing else on this page that looks wrong. I guess technically these are still not fully correct. But I haven't even updated the regular block quotes, let alone the ones that are in tooltips. So if I pop in here right now, cause I don't know about you guys, but I really like to start my articles with like a random quote. So I'm not gonna make myself think about things too much, so I'm just gonna kind of toss in placeholder text just so I can kind of show you guys how this functions. So here we go. The default block quote does not look terribly different from what I want it to look like. But it does look a little bit different from what I want it to look like. We need to decide right now how different we want it to look. If we want a completely different theme to it, if we want, once again, to make another container kind of look like what the sidebar looks like. This just very simple, like simple, transparent, rounded corners. Like nothing crazy. In fact, I really don't want to do anything crazy for this world. Like I want the focus, when we get to that point, I want the focus to be on the content and not like the CSS presentation or anything like that. Although I would eventually like to just kind of, you know, experiment with CSS, just try new things. I'm certainly not opposed to that. I'm not against it in any form. We just need to get there. We need to work our way up to that. I mean, like I said, like even I'm not particularly practiced in CSS, so I could never dream of calling myself an expert. Not at this stage of my career, of my life, of my creative abilities. We're just gonna toss block quotes here. Block quotes. Oh, now. Golly, now my question is, do we want a different font for block quotes? Or do we want to use the one that I already have, which is, let's see, Estonia. We'll test it out and we'll see if we like it. How's that? So if we go .user css .block quote. Font family Estonia. I don't think I grabbed the right thing fully. Do I not need the .user CSS? Hello? Fine, block quote. Shouldn't be tooltips or content, just right off the bat, should it? Oh, okay, I see. So I am right about it being .user CSS block quote. Block quote just does not need the dot in front of it. And so, yes, we see now the font has changed. It is criminally small. Font size. I'm gonna say 30px. We'll see how that works. Still a little bit small for legibility's sake. We go 36. I'll take 36. Line height. 1.2.1. 1. User CSS block quote author. Oops. Font family. Rosiona. Okay, how do I target you? Block quote dot author. Perfect. Cool, we did it. Font size 16px. A lot easier, a lot simpler. 14. I think 14 is good. And so we're gonna want these block quotes to be kind of scarcely used. So let's see. Do I want the quotes to look like our note blocks? Or do I want them to look like our sidebar? Our allowed box? That's the real question. Because of course I could just say block quotes. We just get rid of, or I just did that. And boom, that just looks like our sidebar now. But let's see, because there is, of course, that border on the left side. And so now I'm like, well, do I want the border on that side to be like that? I mean, I would say objectively, yes. I do want the border on the left side of a quote to be like that kind of like that typical, like this is a block quote kind of style. Like there's a line at the edge here to signify this is a block quote, this is what it's meant to be. So I do want to keep it. So if I say border left, I pick the color. I say 2px, this. Say solid. Okay, that's what I was missing. Solid. But how thick do I want the border to be? I don't think I want it to be terribly thick because... See, okay, if I have it mimic the size of the, if I have it mimic the size of the borders I have around the buttons and such, it feels much too small for the block in question. But if I have it any larger than that, it starts to feel like I'm kind of... I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. It feels like I'm kind of taking away from the soft minimal aesthetic, if that makes sense. I don't know. I could... Hey, Sippy.
Refresh yourselves.
Why, thank you. Hehe. Alright, let's see if we can try this color instead. Because if we have this color...
Refresh yourselves.
Stop it with the sippies. Oh, you're too much. Or is it not enough? I don't know. I can't tell anymore. Okay, if we have this border be instead this color, I feel like... Okay, well, that's still way too much. 5... Why does the difference between 5 and 7 seem so much? Have another one. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty cool with this. Oh, and let's see if we change the color of the author to also that color, that'd be really good. So I think that keeps it really simple, like keeps the changes really minimal. But it just kind of, you know, makes it our own, and I think that's really important. But I really am torn on whether or not I want that line to be lighter or darker, because obviously, like, all the headers, all those other lines are going to be that darker color. Except the, except this break line is in fact a different color. So now part of me is like, do we change the break line color? Because currently it's very light, and that's fine. But what if it wasn't? I guess we'll just see in a moment if we like that decision. If I just do HR, is that going to be... user CSS HR. How do I target you? Need to put a dot in front of you? No. Where's it? Background color? Or is it not? Okay, no, it's not the color of it itself. It's border top. Solid. 2px. Red. Okay. Got it. It's a border color, not just a plain old color. I do 1 pixel. And we do this color. If I Control exit, then put it back, it's basically the same thing. But if I instead change that color to the darker one. Okay, so that does change the color. It's just not very transparent. Which how? Okay, so the opacity is turned down. Opacity 1. Okay. So that is the value that we are wrestling right now. I set it to 0.5. I don't know, I really like that it's so light. Like, I like it and I don't. And I hate that I'm so torn on this, because it literally is just a horizontal line. This should not be so contentious to me. Why is life such a struggle? But alright. Alright, so we got this borderline. We figured out at least how to change it, and how we like it to be. Opacity 0.25 is the default value, and that's fine. That's okay. If I just make it 5 pixels. Why stop there? Why not make it 15? Why not make it 105? Oh my god, imagine if every time you used a break line it was 105 pixels. I don't like that. Sorry I ever suggested it. Anyway, okay, so what if our opacity was 1, right? Like it's bothersome. I know on the stream you can probably barely even see that it exists, that it's there, but like, I don't know. Compare the two screens with how subtle the break line is here and how not subtle it is here. It's very different. Even if I change it to 0.5, it doesn't feel like it's enough. Alright. Oh boy. So we'll just leave it. We'll leave it kind of the way it is. I'll change the color of it, but not the opacity of it. I'll just leave the opacity value there in case I decide to change it later. I don't know if I will. I might not. I guess we'll see. I think there should be a section for those of us who have like social media and such that we might want to direct people to. That's kind of a tough one. I don't know how much we want to encourage people like sending links off-site in something like this. So, I don't know. If we link to people's author pages, they can put their information, their social media on their author page, and that I think will be enough in that regard. I don't want to clutter up these pages too much. So I kind of, like, I want to be picky about the kind of information that we put on here, but I also want to put enough information on here to make it interesting to people to come click on and look at. And so yeah, I kind of want to find that balance, you know? Sorry, sleepy. Oh, my drink just tried to assassinate me, but I kept my cool. I just hate that it does that all the time. I suck at drinking. I'm topping off my cup off screen with, today it's cranberry peach juice. I just bought it today. Too many sippies? Too many sippies! Juice! Yes, it's juice today. I know, usually I drink water. This is pretty crazy. So yes, today we have the juiciest of juice. Okay, you know what? Something that bothers me about this. Strix out here going buck wild. Yeah, true. You know I'm crazy. Oh, it really was such a simple fix to do this, to change the padding to 0 at the top. Why was my padding like that to begin with? It looked terrible. Because you see the difference, right? It's just like, this up here is now close to the top, where, you know, maybe the first entry in a sidebar should be. But here on, like, you know, what it used to be before I refresh, there's just like this space here, and you can't put anything in that space, it's just a space. Why was that there? Why was I doing that? I don't know. Yeah, I'll just clear all my little save notifications here. But yeah, so that's pretty good. I'm quite content with that. We can refresh this page just so we can get a update on what this actually looks like. Make sure all the CSS actually works. That's an important step in this process, making sure everything actually works. Because here's the surprise, sometimes it just doesn't. Wowie, I'm struggling to drink right now. I'm just a little creature. Yeah, alright. So, once again, my quest for making like actual content for this homepage has been slowed down tremendously by the fact that I keep getting sidetracked by CSS. But I think it is all 100% necessary, not only for my peace of mind, but for the quality of this page overall. So, we will get there. And everything will be all good. And so, I think this is the code user Strixline? I don't know. I don't actually know if that's correct. No. No. How? Okay. I'm confusing myself. What is the proper way to do this? Oh, just no space. Otherwise I had it right. Yep. Okay, yeah. Simple enough. So I would like, if I'm going to include a link like this, I think I would prefer to just put it in a sidebar. So if we have status, leader, join date, this. H4 author page. Oh my god. User Strixline. So if we just go back here, we have this little section of our sidebar. It says author page, and it links directly to, well, your author page. Yeah, and so now, because I'm publishing 2 different worlds, you're gonna see 2 different worlds popping up here in the recent work. And like I want to get through writing up my own page as quickly as possible, because I don't want a page labeled Strixline to be at the top of my author page, because then I just feel like I'm being like weird. I feel like I'm being weird and like self-promoting too much, but no, I want to make these pages for everyone in the chapter, not just myself. I just need to figure out how exactly I want to format them first. But yeah, so that will link you directly to people's author pages, and I think that'll be a great thing to have. And so then if we have authors in our chapter that are, you know, like content creators on social media, like all that kind of stuff, they can link all of their social media on those pages, and we don't have to clutter up the links and the chapter stuff and like continuously update things as they change. Because goodness knows, I've had a lot of things change over the years. I don't want to go through every single page I've ever linked my social media on and change them every single time that happens. Because I would be updating a lot of different things. I still have my own websites that I need to update with my like current status of the social media sphere. Like I have I'm sure a lot of us know like Card, the website thing. Like I have a Card site for myself, and I don't even think my Twitch is on there right now. And like, you know, I'm sitting here, like obviously I'm sitting here like realizing I need to change that. And I'm like, okay, I will make time to go change it. And then I don't. Because I have so many other things that I need to do and things I need to change. And it's a never ending journey, really, when you're creating content in any form. It's just you think of one thing that you need to change and then you add it to your to-do list of like 40 things that you need to change. And every time you add one more thing to the to-do list, like, oh, you've actually added like 6 more things, as it turns out. So, yeah. Lots to do. Lots to do, lots to manage. But we manage. So I'm thinking, okay. So we have I'm debating if I want to start these with a quote. Because like I feel like it'd be fun to just kind of I feel like it'd be really fun to ask everyone in the chapter to just come up with a quote. Any quote. Whether it's one they made up themselves or if it's from like a favorite form of media. Bonus points if it's like some kind of fantasy media. And just pop that quote into their little introduction article. But I'd have to think really hard about what I want my quote to be. Because I don't know. I feel like let's see. Cause now like I'm racking my brain, like who in the fantasy genre would I want to have a quote from, like, representing me? Because for some reason my brain is like taking me directly to Y'shtola from Final Fantasy XIV. Because I just feel like every word she says is just chef's kiss. You know? But naturally, as soon as I put myself on the spot to say like, oh yes, quotes from this character that I love, now I can't remember a single one. I love how brains work. That's so good. Oh. I'm gonna start looking up quotes and just seeing cool things that she's said in the series, and be like, maybe I should just slap one of those on there because I just love her so much. She just has some excellent quotes. Let's see. Or just quotes from Final Fantasy XIV in general. There's so many good ones. Let's see. Honestly, quotes from Xenos. That I can't deny. I'm just gonna like sit here thinking about Xenos. My husband, my best friend. My bestest friend. I don't know who in here, if anyone, is opposed to spoilers for Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. I don't really know that anyone here would be. And hungry still for our reunion, I rode the light of the stars to you. I can't not use that quote. Honestly, okay. If I cannot think of a single other better quote. Ooh, hold on. I'm just clicking on all the wrong things. I think that's such a lovely quote. It's like it's so romantic from the person in the series that you probably don't want to romance, but would be completely okay with having them like throw you to the ground and just like destroy you. No homo. It's full homo. uh, eh, dude literally just rolls up on you in full dragon form at the literal edge of the universe and just straight up comes at you with this line. And hungry still for our reunion, I rode the light of the stars to you. Help me. Dude like fought against all of physics, time, and space to come fist fight you at the edge of the universe. How am I not supposed to be in love with that dedication? Like, bro literally said 1v1 me. It'll be hot. And you did. And it was great. It was the most satisfying moment of like the entire expansion. At the end of everything, I find you, my friend. Ah! Who I kiss. My best friend who I kiss. Yes! Absolutely. Yeah, I'm putting a Xenos quote onto my chapter.
Refresh yourselves.
Thank you for the sippy. Yeah, I'm putting a Xenos quote on my little chapter user page. Since you're so thirsty. I'm not thirsty, I'm dedicated. I'm still scrolling through just like different quotes that exist. I care not. What I desire from you isn't succor, it's satisfaction. Simpy. I sip. Another excellent quote from Final Fantasy XIV. Piss off, Kupo. Kupo? Oh, and Urianger describing the night sky. Also a wonderful quote. A sea of shimmering stars, diamonds strewn across a raven gown, boundless and beautiful. 'Tis an exquisite sight, not unlike that of the source, calm and gentle, and forgiving. And Y'shtola responds, I can see it. Ah. Ah, and then she smacks his ass. Urianger's thick as fuck. This is everyone's friendly reminder to go slap the homies on the ass because they deserve it. That's all I'm gonna say. Like at the end of sports. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I do love like that recurring line from the Scions. Um, for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. I think that's a really like I always thought that was one of the most like touching lines in the whole series, and like the fact that it keeps coming up and like it stays relevant to your character throughout the whole series. Because like when is the first time that we hear that line? It's during A Realm Reborn, right? Like I don't genuinely know, but I feel like we start hearing it from the very beginning. And I know, at least on more than one occasion, we've had like the dialogue option of saying that to people during Endwalker. And so like from point A to point Edge of the Universe, we're still using that line, and it's like it's really sweet. Let's see. Do not squander it. The legacy I leave you. Gosh, who said that one? Was that Emmett Selk that said that? I think so. Oh no, now I'm sad. um like there's so many good quotes from this game. And like I absolutely want to use one. And the one that I've already chosen from Xenos is like I think that's a really I think it's a great quote to just summarize how I feel about like it's completely it's pretty divorced from the original context. But when I think of this quote, and again, it's the quote that said, "And hungry still for our reunion, I rode the light of the stars to you." Part of me is like really internalizing that quote now. Of like, I was very, I was so eager for the reunion of me and my creativity, and so that is what put me back on WorldAnvil, and it's put me here. And so now I'm like that. If I take that quote and put it into this new context, like it really describes me and my creative process really well. Um, and so that's why I'm like very stuck on that quote. But of course, now I'm like scrolling through all these other quotes, and there's so many that I love. But if I want to beat that quote out for like a different one, it's gonna have to put up a really solid fight. Um. Oh, and this quote from Vana: "Has your journey been good? Has it been worthwhile?" Tears. I'm gonna if I think about the Endwalker story too much, I'm going to like openly weep on stream, and I don't think we want that. Oh. She is my mama.
Refresh yourselves.
Thank you for the sippy. Ooh, open your eyes to the darkness and drown in its loveless embrace. The gods will not be watching. What a hard fucking line. What was that? Orban Monastery? Oh my god, yeah. So good. I think that's my favorite thing about like Final Fantasy and games like it. Um, some of the lines are just raw as fuck. They're so good. Popped in to say hi, I love you, stay hydrated, Stinky, thank you. I will stay very hydrated. I promise there's only a little bit of alcohol in this cup. Only a little, a tasteful amount.
Refresh yourselves.
Thanks for the sippy. Oh, I almost fucked up swallowing there and like ruined my life. Very common. F. Yeah, it's like every single time. Let's see. 7 shadows cast, 7 fates foretold. Yet at the end of a broken path lies death and death alone. Very exciting. Honed is the blade that I think they used the wrong word here. Honed is the blade that severs the villain's head. Endless is the path that leads him from hell. Pretty good. Also pretty good. Oh, where's this one from? Know that I'll kill your god if I have to. Maybe even if I don't. Who says that? Now I need to know. Kupo? Yeah, who says that? Oh, is that a dialogue option that the Warrior of Light chooses? Hey, yo. Alright, you see some of the choices you can pick for dialogue options for your character. It does make you look like you are just out of battle recently. Can help you Gyuri. Purely to have a chance to fight Xenos again. You decide to kill a primal, and even if you didn't, you'd still kill it anyways. Pretty cool, pretty cool. How very glib. Honestly, I should use that one. That one's really, really good. Oh. Oh, this one makes me sad. It's Ardbert saying we did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this. Just the tears, they come. Honestly, I'm gonna say the Shadowbringers voice actors fucking killed it. Just like ruined my life entirely. Same with Endwalker. Like, especially Alice. Ended my life, ended my career. I love my daughter. I would kill entire worlds for her. I'm seeing more posts on Reddit about the Xenos quote that I'm using. The still hungry for a reunion. I wrote the light of the stars to you. And everyone's like, oh, it'd be so romantic if it wasn't, you know, Xenos. And everyone in the comments is like, I don't want to fix him, he's not broken. Oh. We know it's wrong, but we know it's right. I love that. If Yulmore wishes to denounce us as villains, then we shall embrace our villainy. Also fun. Let's see. Stop looking to others. You made your choice and you live with the consequences. And what would you know about consequences? And for saying that, he gets punched in the face. Love that. Oh, I know. He punches Thancred in the face. And then gets punched back. That's what it is. You know nothing about me. I've fought tooth and nail for the people I hold dear, done everything in my power to save them, and I have failed. Learn to live with it. I have. God damn. Oh, this quote. This quote ends my life, actually. The rains have ceased and we have been graced with another beautiful day, but you are not here to see it. Oh. Why do I feel so much for the Ascians? Oh my god. That quote actually weighs like so heavily on my heart. And every time I see it, I just... For a memeier answer, such devastation. This was not my intention. Oh. But see, this one also is another inspiring one. If you had the strength to take another step, could you do it? Really good. Also, I realized, like, why am I not just sharing this with everybody? I'm just scrolling. Oh, an iconic quote in retrospect. When the calamity struck, it sundered life everywhere. I mean, true. Oh, do not look at me so. A smile better suits a hero. Ah. No, telling Elphino, hurry up and take a shower, stinky. It's one of my favorite dialogue options of the game. Oh my god, I remember having that dialogue option come up and I was telling my friend, like, it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life. Just hurry up and take a shower, stinky. Me telling my shitty little son to go take a shower because he's stinky. Oh, Ishgard remembers, warrior of light. You gather pieces of happiness, precious and fragile, only to lose them, then start again. Oh, true. Lemon, the deceiver. Or, to ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. True. Oh, this world is not yours to end. This is our future, our story. Ah! Such a good line that makes me weep, like, openly every time I watch that cutscene. Like, I wept when I did the story the first time and I watched that cutscene, and then I watched a friend do that same cutscene and I wept for them also. Like, there's no shortage of tears for me when it comes to Shadowbringers and Endwalker content. It just hurts me. Oh, so good. What are all these spoilers? Give me that. Come, let us cast aside titles and pretense. I am Hades. Ah, yes, Hades, thank you. Sweep me away. Please. Have a sippy.
Refresh yourselves.
Have this, thank you. I hope you're enjoying me just like reading off random Final Fantasy quotes that I like. It's just kind of happening. I need to be like done with this stream, but I'm just like so not done with this stream. I'm just hanging out. I'm reading Final Fantasy quotes. It's making me happy. So I'm stifled by this vessel of flesh. True. Oh, another Vana quote. No more shall man have wings to bear him to paradise. Henceforth he shall walk. Oh. I saw an absolutely excellent Vana cosplayer on TikTok the other day. And like they were not only cosplaying Vana, but they were cosplaying like ichor dripping Walk of Death Vana. And it was just incredible. And they used that quote in their video and just ruined my life. and to contrast that noise that Alphino made when he dove into the sea. Oh, sloppy. Also another iconic quote. Oh. I do not consider you to be truly alive, ergo I won't be guilty of murder if I kill you. True. Let's see. And some more scrolling. Water, water, froth and foam. It's the little things that make life worth living, don't you think? Hmm. Hey, maybe consider the plight of present company before you go blathering on about pudding and doom. True. Thank you, John Fantasy, for saving the Final Fantasy. Oh. You stand where you stand by virtue of the road you walk to get there. True. All the horrible things that have happened to us and the people around us, they made us who we are, and we're still here. Yeah. And amid deepest despair, light everlasting. There's so many good quotes from this game. And honestly, like there's so many good quotes even from like the less like distinctly impactful moments too. Like there are so many quests in the game, so many pieces of dialogue that people will just kind of like gloss over and skip. And like even I, who have tried like so desperately to consume like every little piece of it wholly and fully with like my full attention, like even then, like a lot of things escape me. But there's so many great quotes from just like shitty little side quests that maybe you wouldn't normally do if, you know, if you didn't feel like you had a reason to. But of course, I will say, like, obviously, MSQ, main story, is always going to have, like, heavy hitters. And it's the ones that everyone remembers, because obviously everyone does those. But yeah, that was excellent. But yeah, again, the Amarot dungeon quote. If you had the strength to take another step, could you do it? Could you save our worlds? Warrior of Light says, you know I could. Take it. We fight as one. And then fucking Shadowbringers theme music. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, I get so excited about it. It's so excellent. Oh, that I cannot deny. The response to Xenos. Honestly, that is one of my favorite like Warrior of Light quotes from the game. Is when you see Xenos and he's telling you like hey, I know there is this spirit inside you that wants to fucking fight me as much as I want to fight you right now. To paraphrase. And the Warrior of Light just looks at him and says, that I cannot deny. Mint. Absolutely true. But yeah, okay. So I'm gonna say that we have made our choice. Hungry for our reunion. I wrote the light of the stars to you. That's going to be my chosen quote. Just to kind of kick off my member page. And yeah. So essentially, what we're going to do, we're gonna get rid of this allowed box because I don't think I actually want it to be there. We're gonna say sign is a artist, world builder, and streamer in the WorldAnvil community. Working on their world Malcora since 2018. We're gonna go like full like bio style. Say favorite quote. Well, I think at this point in the game he is Viator Galvis. So we'll just say that for now. So there's our favorite quote, but now I'm thinking like, ooh, what if I'd rather have my favorite quote just be like somewhere else in the article? I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm just coming up with ideas and figuring out what we want to do here. I'm gonna say chapter leader just to make more sense, just out of context. Status chapter leader. Join date June 26, 2021. Author page Polina Linartive. Yep, that's me. I need to come up with like a better like little mini bio for myself. Cause while the statement is true, I just think it could flow better. And I think I could pull some more relevant information to the forefront of things. But yeah, I don't know. We'll get there. We'll figure it out. Like we made a lot of progress today. It may not seem like a crazy amount because like, you know, we only put a couple more things onto this page, but we changed a lot of CSS things. We made a lot of different additions, changes, shifts to things. And we picked a fun little quote to put on our little member page. So we'll see. I'd like my little bio section to be a little bit longer. So I'm thinking I might find one or two more things to put in the sidebar. Things that don't vary in height very much. So I want to keep everything in that sidebar basically the same as all the other stuff that we already have. Things that are only going to take up like one line of text. They're not going to be any longer, like there's no variables. Right now it's just author page. It just links to your username. Your status, like are you leader, member, former member, like all that kind of stuff. The join date, it's not gonna take up more than one line to say, you know, month, day, year. Things like that. So like no lists, no like nothing long, just like a simple like one or two word thing, like a little label that's like, you know, like we have header, text, simple like one little line thing going on there. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out because I don't know what else I would include. You know what I mean? We'll see. Like there are a lot of ways that this can go, and this can change in the future, so who knows. Um yeah, I guess we'll see. Um and so I'm gonna start winding down here in a second, but I will tell everyone who is here, of course. Little reminder, I have a Discord server. If you want to get my updates, my announcements, keep up with all my streams and my stream schedule, it's been changing a lot recently because like things are just kind of all over the place, and my stream schedule is going to be changing quite a bit. Like guaranteed, it's going to change quite a bit for July. For June, I'm not sure yet. What's happening in June is going to be the build up to summer camp, which is in July. Summer camp homework month, prep month, is going to be in June, so starting very soon. And so that's going to involve a lot of me getting extremely hyped for my favorite event of every single year, and that's WorldAnvil's summer camp. I am always extremely excited to take part. I'm very happy to be there. Last year, I won a cruise for participating in summer camp, so hey, if you're interested in things like that, maybe go check it out. This is all I'm gonna say. If you want to check out WorldAnvil yourself, I do have an affiliate link down in my little like description-y thing. So yeah, if you ever decide to check it out and you decide you like it enough to purchase something, all that affiliate link does is it just gives me like a tiny little kickback off of you purchasing a membership. Like, it doesn't do anything else. It just says like, hey, this person, me, sent me here, and now I'm buying this. Give them a little bit of dosh. And yeah, so it's nothing crazy. But yeah, I cannot recommend it more to anybody who likes world building and just like creating worlds and things to go participate in summer camp. It is just so much fun. There's so many raffles, there's so many contests. The entire community vibe during summer camp is my favorite thing on the planet. And so I'm planning to do more streams during the month of July. If I'm amped enough, I'll try to do more streams during the month of June. It only depends on how much time I feel like I have, how much availability I think I have. Which I'm gonna give you a little spoiler, it's typically not that much. But for July, most certainly I'm going to make the time because I think it's worth it. I think it's a really great time. We're gonna do a lot of brainstorming sessions, writing sprints maybe. You know, we set timers and we start writing and we don't stop writing until that timer's up. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And so my goal is to have like all this setup for my chapter done before then, before July. You know, during the month of June, obviously June's like in 2 days. So before June, it's probably not gonna happen. During June, I hope so. So we're gonna try to get all of our active members like their own pages on the chapter thing, on the chapter ledger. I'm gonna get the chapter rules written down in the ledger. Like, we're basically gonna set up this place to be like ready for us to collaborate and work together and actually get stuff done together. And that's kind of really what I want out of this chapter, is to just get people working together. To get people working together, collaborating, talking, sharing feedback with each other, and just getting really excited to talk about their work, you know? Like it's really difficult sometimes to carve out like space where you can feel like you can share your work with a group of people and have them really sit down and actually look at it. Like, really genuinely, like, you've sent them a link. They click on that link, they actually read it, and they actually talk to you about it. As opposed to, you know, you kind of send out a link to people and they gloss over it and they don't really look at it. You know, and so I'm trying to make this chapter into a place where people can post their work and they will get some kind of feedback on it. Like, even if that feedback has to come from me because like other people aren't paying attention, like, I'll do it. Fuck it, I'll do that. If no one else is responding, I will. And we're just I'm going to make that happen once I get all this setup done. And then once I can finish worrying about the setup, then I'm going to try to really be that involved, like, social leader that I can be. And we're just gonna see how things go from there. Like, I think we need more, like, little sections of the community where people really feel heard and listened to, and I think that's exactly what chapters are meant to be and what they should be. And, like, I know a couple of the chapter leaders myself personally, and they are fantastic human beings, and I'm sure they agree with me completely. And so yeah, that is going to be where I call it quits for today's stream. Thank you so much, everyone who came by and watched. Thank you, everyone, for the sippies, and thank you, everyone, for the lurks. Thank you once again, Oster, for the subscription. I really appreciate that so much. And yeah, a couple of the followers, Pie Dragon, Dusham Mandic, Junior, and King of LOL 87. Again, thank you so much for the follows. Every single little tiny bit helps, and like I'm like crawling ever closer to 200 followers. And that's really cool. That's really exciting. Like, what am I at now? 179? Is that the correct number? I think it is. 179 followers. That's crazy. Like, I know that I stream to like a very niche interest, you know? So I don't expect to like explode in followers at any point in time. So the fact that I almost have 200 after streaming for like less than a year, just sitting around doing random world building stuff, just kind of hanging out, doing stuff like this, like, that's awesome. That's amazing. And I'm really glad that so many people are like, you know, coming along for this journey. And I know so many of those people are not awake at this hour, so the evening stream is not necessarily going to be like the ideal place to express all of my gratitude, but you can be sure I will also express my gratitude on Saturday stream. Which, by the way, is going to be my next stream. And because Saturday stream is going to be within the month of June, we're going to start talking about summer camp homework. We're going to start talking about what is going on, what is new, what has been announced, and what we have to look forward to for this upcoming event. So I'm very excited about that. So yes, Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, that is going to be my next stream. We're going to be talking about summer camp homework, summer camp prep, and I hope you will all join me for that. I cannot stress to you how excited I am for this event every single year, and especially this year, because I have a lot of plans. I'm gonna make it so fun for myself and hopefully for you because you come along with me on this fun adventure. Yes. But yeah, since I am signing off, I will tell you all, if you want to see me in other places on the internet, you can see Streamlabs has just shared with you my most common social media links. I got the Twitter, the Instagrams, the TikToks, all that kind of fun stuff. And yeah, so if you want to catch me elsewhere on the internet, I will also once again share my Discord server, which is the best way to reach me, which is the best way to just keep up with my updates. Every time I make something new, post something new, and every time I go live, you can choose to be updated about those things. You do not have to be pinged for those things if you want to, so if you want to come in and be pinged for absolutely nothing except my biggest updates, full disclaimer, I will at everyone for like the big things. Those things come like so rarely. If you just want to hang out, you're more than welcome to. If not, that's fine. I'll just catch you on my next stream if you are so interested. Yeah, every little bit of support I really appreciate. So even if you're here and you're not really listening, that's totally fine by me. I'm just happy to have you here. So yeah, we are going to sign off on this little stream here. We're gonna see if there's someone that we can kind of like go jump into. And since we are on the topic of writing and WorldAnvil and all kinds of things, I think I'm going to send us over to Usurper Kings, who's also doing some writing. Very cool. Another member of the WorldAnvil community. Excellent content, excellent streams on that channel. I think the last time I was on Usurper King's channel, it was Emily Armstrong and I cannot off the top of my head remember who else they had a guest. Just talking about marketing and like like promoting yourself and building up your world building as a business, which is really cool. So I'm positive that they're going to do more things like that on that channel. So let's go. Let us raid Usurper Kings, and we are going to have an excellent time. So I hope everyone has the most wonderful of wonderful days. Stay happy, stay hydrated, and stay creative, and keep up that world building spirit, everyone. I hope you have the most wonderful of wonderful days. Farewell.